What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Quiet169. We are live with the power of Spectrum Internet. I'm here, you're there. Let's get on to it now. Now, this today's topic video is going to be about a little different. I'm going to do little educational videos. I'm going to do some of these periodically throughout the year, probably next year. I'm going to try to do more education videos. I want to do more about mostly gaming in general, education video, and mostly in general, so that way everybody has a chance to look at some stuff. Live chat. There we go. I'll make sure I had that up there. Top chat. All messages visible. Good. Good. Make sure that's ready to go. Now, this topic is going to be about today. What gaming gen are you? Let's talk about history gaming. About the history of gaming. Sorry, of gaming. Join me. Um, Save that there, a little more centered there. But yeah, history of gaming, and I have a little chart here. This is from Wikipedia. It shows the Sega Saturn from 1995, and here it has a chart of different games here, though, that really chart different game graphics of different games of different situations at hand. Goes all the way back to 1975. That was the first, and that was Amiga Odyssey. Then the second one was Pong. That was probably the very first console, home console. Fairchild Channel F, Atari 2600. That's part of the blue sector. What blue sector is the first 1975. These here, well, you really can't. Pong, the Fairchild Channel F, 2600 are actually part of what they call pretty much the Wild Wild West. Where what I mean by that is they came in, they had no rules. Every console had different things, but they're all the same. Because when Atari came out, 2600 came out, it was a revolutionary console. And what I mean by that was it played games that wasn't like arcade quality games, but they were good enough where parents were not really happy about Johnny and Susie going into a bunch of adults playing, like weird people, like people with raincoats or anything, but you didn't know what the hell you're getting into and then going into an arcade, especially some of these arcades in inner cities. You didn't know because you had businessmen, you had little scrubs like me who were born in '81, and you had people and all different people going in there. You had college people, you had businessmen playing Pac-Man. It's how explosion the arcade was. So this is about the consoles, and started right around 80, 81. Then ColecoVision 5200 that bombed because the controller was oxidizing because it was a plastic controller, a plastic face controller, and it would oxidize. And you had to take it apart and clean it. And then we have oxidizing now. You can anti-oxidize, you can clean now, but 5200 was pretty much you couldn't even play it now. And the games were a lot better at 200. The problem was the oxidizing of that joystick ruined the whole system. Played more than a couple days, then you had to take a toothbrush and scrub all the oxidation out. Now they have oxidized. Now they have anti-oxidizing wipes and cleaners you can use, but it's 5200 so far gone. That's all games in a game exchange for like 25, 50 cents. Or like a buck maybe. Probably gave a quarter for it probably. But the games were better. They're better versions, but you couldn't play it because of the fact that it was just reoxidized. Now they're trying. I know Atari tried to come out with a 7800 that play 200 games, but they felt 2600 games because there was a lot more people playing that. And so that 7800 are more compatible with the NES than the Sega Master System, but that's a different one. Sega Master System came out around. Well, the NES came out in '85. Atari 5200 came out probably 84. Master System came out a little after that, and that's the second generation. Now we're going second from first, second, and the third generation. Master System 7800. That was equivalent to the NES back then. The fourth generation, where it got really weird, the TurboGrafx 16, Sega Genesis, NES. Fifth generation, 3DO, was more than just a company that made games. It was actually a game console at one time. Atari Jaguar and Jaguar CD. Sega Saturn. PlayStation started in the fifth generation. Nintendo 64, fifth generation. The sixth generation can be up to debate if Dreamcast was late fifth or early sixth, but I think it's sixth generation, early sixth. PS2, sixth generation, GameCube and Xbox, both seventh generation, the final generation of the real consoles that really actually mattered, that were actually based upon console gaming, not all this computer stuff. 360, PS3, and Wii. Now, to really break it down, first generation 72 to 80, Mega, Odyssey, Pong, and Coleco. Second generation, Fairchild F 2600, Mattel Television. Third generation, Sega Master System, Atari 7800, Nintendo NES. Fourth, NC TurboGrafx 16, Genesis, Neo Geo, AVS, and Super Nintendo. Sega Saturn, fifth generation, PlayStation, and Nintendo 64. Sixth generation, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, Sony PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube, Microsoft Xbox. Seventh gen, Microsoft 360, Sony PS3, Wii. Eighth generation, Wii U, Sony PS4, Microsoft Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. Ninth generation is Xbox X Series and PlayStation 5. You see how Nintendo was in the ninth generation for that reason alone. So, what are my views on it? Like I said, I was born in 1981. My first system I ever played was a 2600. I was a little scrub back then, back in Fort Devens, Massachusetts. So we couldn't, and I couldn't go with my older brother and sister to the carnival that came around because I would slow them down and beg for money, blah blah blah. That's what kids do. You're little jerks. When you're a kid, you're a third child, you're a little turd because you want to do everything your older sister's brothers do, but you can't because you're a little, you're a little turd. You have to be home with mom and your younger sibling. You're the odd duck out, because that's how it was when I was a kid. Now all third children the odd duck out because you're getting of age, but you're still young enough where you're kind of hanging out with your sister or little brother, but you're not old enough to hang out with the cool kid, with the older kids. So you're just kind of, in that middle ground where you're kind of just stuck. And that's what I was. I was stuck there. I had no problem with my sister or parents at all. It's just I wanted to go out and go to the carnival, but I couldn't because once again, my older brother and sister would cut grass, make money, and they wanted to spend it themselves. And I understand that. So I understand it now. Back then, I thought they were being mean, but realizing now that they made their own money and making money is rough. It's all up in the air for that. So, but my generation, and I call myself, hey, Box, I've been good, buddy. I call my age bracket. I'm 42 years old. Our age bracket, my age bracket, if you're around 40 to 45, you are what they call the game generation. And what I mean by that is that, and also I'm not trying to diss anybody who's out there who's like, oh, I'm 35. I remember this stuff. Yes, you might remember it, but if your console you came up with is the PS2 or the Wii or the Xbox One itself, the Xbox One, the black Xbox One, then you don't understand the evolution of gaming like I do, or like boxing does, or anybody who's older. But see, I'm 40, so I understand a lot about the game pass in general. I was born in 81. The gaming crash happened in 83. So I was only 2 years old when the game crash happened. I had no clue what's going on. But when I got around 86, 87, I realized it's gaming crash, talk. And I actually researched about it. I went to the library and talked about it, up at our little school. And we had a library about the stuff. Hey, cool boxing. So and happy birthday, late birthday, buddy. Um, so people like my age, 40. I always say 40 plus, but I think it's getting a little screwed. The gaming generation is around 40 to 45 years. Generation because we understand all of this stuff about NES, Sega Master System, 7800, the Neo Geo, the Sega Dreamcast, Sega Genesis. Probably mentioned that already. Whatever. The PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, um, PlayStation 5. We grew up with the bare bones. That's cool, boxing. I appreciate it, buddy. But no, we grew up with the bare bones of literally playing playing Galaga, playing any type of space game, and thinking your little triangle shooting squares at somewhat look like rocks or asteroids, and somehow on 2600 we're saving the galaxy. You had to have a lot of imagination back then, and kids they don't have it. I play Call of Duty, and people just don't understand when I say, "Yeah, this older game." And that's the generation that I grew up with. And we are the gaming generation. It means we respect the games. We came from the crew, 1D or 1 byte, megabyte to 8 megabytes, 16 megabytes, 12 bits, 15, 64 bits were actually something. Now it's like resolution is number one now. I have a 2K monitor that's 34 wide that does 165 hertz. Now it's all about hertz. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard about those. We had a commercial on them. I was watching some old videos on YouTube, and some Radio Shack commercials popped up. I'm like, man, I'm old as shit. I remember Radio Shack. No, but it's like what is it? And it's like Great World War II, and the Great Generation and my father's generation, Vietnam and stuff like that. And my generation is known for the gaming generation. Every generation has greatness somewhere. That we grew up with the 1 bit to 8 bit to 16 bits to now we're talking about hunt on the 500 no 500 no refresh rate monitors and have a 34-inch wide monitor that's 2K and 8K coming out in a year or two. I'm predicting that right now. I've been reading about that 8K. So it's like, oh my god, all this crazy crap, right? And I went to Sam's Club and I looked at the TV. I looked at it. It's like a $3,000 TV. And I'm thinking about this, and I'm pondering in my head. Says, man, I'm pretty old. I remember when TVs were gigantic brick television with tubes in them, and to carry them around, like a world's strongest man. You're carrying it like this. You're holding it. It weighs probably about 80 to 100 pounds, probably. Yeah, 80 to 100 pounds. You try to carry that bad boy around the house, you probably break your toe if you drop it on your toe. Now they nowadays, in Japan they have TVs you can roll up like little rugs and throw them on the wall, and they're like thin screen rugs that, I mean, it's literally just weird, man. But I think gaming generation like myself, we understand, we appreciate where we came from. We came from the, like I said, the 2600, maybe 1 or 2 bits, maybe, 2 bits, whatever, and the 8-bit NES, ooh and ah, and then 16 bits, and then it just went from there. And they took the ball and be like, oh my God, gaming generation, you guys are great. I said it wasn't great for us because it was more of a necessity. It was more of an accidental necessity. Um, man, Yeah, yeah, tigers were pretty. Yeah, they're back in stores too. I found a couple in I think Dollar General. Um, and tiger, and a lot of things like that though were like this. Gaming grew up with us, but it was more of an accidental necessity. Because when a gaming crash happened in '83, September of '83, it just tanked. Okay, and that no, Activision was no, Activision had their own company because Atari was being dicks to them, so they decided to create their own company. Atari's was owned by Time Warner, Warren, Time Warner, and the boss then told the programmers, "You're no more better, you're no more important than the person on the line putting the game together." So they formed Activision and blah blah blah. At the history. And what happened with the crash was, I mean, real quick was when Activision started making third-party games for 2000, then everybody else got on board. And when I was talking about the first generation of games, and I go into was the 2600, the ColecoVision, the Gemini, the Mattel Television. They all have one thing in common: they can all play 2600 games because they're all practically the same thing. There's no patent back then. Atari did not go and patent it because they used computer parts from different computers to create 2600. There's no patent pending. So when they try to sue, say Odyssey for example, or Mattel for example, for creating a add-on where you can play 2600 games, even though the television ColecoVision looked a lot better with knockoff Pac-Man and knockoff different games they had was a lot better. 100 was still king. I'll give you guys a little taste of history here. How far back I go on this. I researched stuff for papers in high school and college about the rise and fall of gaming and civilization as we know it. But to really make it clear, Atari 2600 had the first backwards compatibility. Yeah, yeah, they were. But the backwards compatibility was I could buy an attachment going out and buying an Xbox X Series and going home and go on Amazon and buying a converter for PlayStation 5, plugging it into your Xbox. Now you can play PS5 games. Of course, you'll rain down the mighty hammer of Sony on you, or Nintendo Switch, by the way, too. Plug in Switch and you play Switch games on your Xbox or PlayStation or PlayStation on Switch. You know, it would be a damn dog fight between Sony and Nintendo. I'll make a video about that one. Now, Sony and Nintendo. I'll go more about that later on, probably in the year, probably beginning of the year. But what really that would cause a dogfight right now. But back then, in the first, second generation, but the first generation of gaming, the television, ColecoVision, like that, and Atari, that was normal. That was everyday business. You go in there and buy a game console, buy attachment, and you play all the games you want to play on different consoles. Even though the Odyssey and television had better games because they're better graphically better, but 2600, like I said, was still king of the game. And had like 25 million homes had 2600. So do you want to have all those games on your console by plugging in an attachment? So and they had voice command too. They had voice controls on the modulator for the television voice modulator. You plug into the side of it where 2600 that adapter go, and you can have voice on your games. Of course, once again, a very big oh my god a moment. But now it's like man, our games talk to us all the time. They're talking phones and cars now, so it's not like it's anything different. But back then it was oh my god. So guys, this is why I am boxing. A lot of guys who are 40 plus are called the gaming generation. We understood and respect the fact that we had to blow into a damn cartridge to get it to work, or take a knife out and play Surgery Man or Woman, and try to get your NES to work because it costs $200 to get it fixed. It's not a whole lot of money. Our parents didn't have a lot of money. So if you didn't break it, if you didn't stomp it, break it, throw it against the wall, and work it, guess what? You need no Mario for you. So we had to, you know, push the pin back and work because it went like this, an angle, then push down, and it caused what? It caused the pin to separate. So we realized what it was, we start pushing the pins down. Then turn it on. Dun, 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 dun. It's alive. Mario's back. So I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, and our parents were not all of us. Our parents go in the store to go buy Mario 2 and Super Mario Brothers 2 and Mario 3. Good God. We'll talk about a nightmare. Even getting Halo 3 was bad. You think getting a PS5 was bad. I mean, I've had friends of mine back in Massachusetts. Parents are going out of state to find Mario Brothers 2. Well, luckily, my parents saw it at Toys R Us and they picked it up for Christmas that one year. So they're pretty cool that day. I'll get this. And they picked up Mario 2 and they threw it in a cart and yay, whatever. But, it's just, so when I say this, guys, about game generation, I'm not trying to dog anybody. Okay, if you grew up with an original Xbox and now you got PC gaming, yeah, yeah, it's $80 back then. And also, too, $80 for a game back then was considered very high. And parents looked at us, like my parents go get a job. I'm like, and now I understand why. Because games now are just, just is insane. But I think those games are done more by Nintendo marking up stuff, and they all did it, but I think Nintendo did it worse. That's why it made Sega Genesis more appealing. You get this for $39, or you get Mario for $80. Some people got Sonic for Christmas and a Sega Genesis. Yeah, really is. But guys, really guys, I think with the game generation myself, you really have to understand where you fit in. And like I said, though, if you came from a PS2 era or Xbox era, you may not understand what I'm talking about. But I implore you to go on Wikipedia. I implore you to go on YouTube and type in gaming historian. That gentleman has all the game stuff. He talked about the crash of '83 and all other stuff in great detail. And also go for G4 icons on YouTube. G4 used to be a gaming channel on cable. It used to be called Tech TV and G4 Tech TV. Then it went down to G4. Icons will show different things: Mortal Kombat, Gaming Crash, sorry, Gaming Crash of '83, different things. But if you want to know more about certain games, the game historian does a better job than I could do. He has a lot more time than I do. Um, I know. I believe that the game generation, I'm seeing gaming in my thoughts on this, and um, what I fear. Um, is not another crash, but what I fear is that these new gamers are becoming complacent. We're letting companies nickel and dime us with patches and updates. I can never believe, guys, this is my real talk moment right now, the next couple minutes. I can never believe that Mario 2 or Mario Brothers or Mario 3, Mario Brothers 3 would ever come with a damn day one download patch. My mother and father would throw that damn game in the garbage can, lit the son of a bitch on fire. They wouldn't have even. They're like, how screw this crap. They wouldn't even look at it look at me like boy, you ain't getting shit for Christmas because it's expensive. Games are expensive nowadays. It's just a common goal to make the games hardest, the best. It seems like the best games are the most destroyed ones right now. The Battlefield, the Call of Duties, the Dead Spaces, the Hogwarts Legends, the Last of Us Part One. These good games seem to have the most horrendous problems on planet Earth. I mean, everything from from dead fighters and Battlefield having a seizure and flopping around after they've been shot, or Call of Duty screen just disappearing when you're trying to play, or Hogwarts Legacy, having a VRAM issue. It's like we're literally having this time where we have to, okay, we'll wait for a patch. Screw the damn patch. What's wrong with the damn companies? And I understand the games are $500 million, $1 billion, and yes, granted, gaming has surpassed the motion picture revenue back in the 80s as well too, and it still has surpassed them. There's most games that look better than most movies coming out. Movie coming out on Netflix or Hulu, they look like trailer park trash compared to most games we play, and how the gameplay and how the story moves you. It's like a great damn freaking movie. And I understand with the movie tie-ins like Super Mario Brothers and Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it was not great, but these games to me need to be works of art, not just snot out your nose you blow out when you're trying to, go for a run or whatever, or just clean your nostrils out because you have not created. I think the new gaming age, boxing said it best. Be complacent and just accept the fact that the games are crap, and it'll take 6 months or 3 years to fix it. Prime example: Halo Max Chief Collection. 3 years took about 3 years to get fully operational. Took 109 days to get the game playable, where I can play Halo 2 without having to pause the game and it goes to black screen where I can't see anything after that. Or game updates magically when I'm playing a campaign. Virginia update. So you just erased my whole game. Thank you there, Microsoft. And just Microsoft too. Sony has them back too. Know it Rise or know it with Fuse. That this so-called Halo 3 killer. Fuse is what you call it, or Rise, or whatever you call the game. It was a terrible game, and it just seems like to me that we're okay with terrible games nowadays. And I think it's just the point now where I'm thinking to myself, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, my father and mother would just curve stomp the games into the ground. They wouldn't even bother to buy us that trash because it wouldn't be considered to them what they do, because they had a record player for 25, 30 years, a TV for about 10, 15 years, a radio for about 15, 20 years. Things work. Now they didn't understand trading in game consoles every couple years like we do nowadays. Like you fart, oh my god, I'm gonna go buy a new console now. I understand the value of a dollar, like a lot of my peers who are my age. A lot of youngsters come up today think it's just rolling ATM machines, and really that's a sad point of view. Yes, granted, nah, I got an Xbox One behind me. Yeah, I wanted a PS4 Pro. I got an Xbox One. I got an Xbox One X. And I wasn't born under a bad sign, folks. So, I take whatever I get my hands on. I'm grateful for it. It's a great console. Served me well for those couple of years when we had the only most powerful console on planet Earth at the time. But now the gaming rate that trumps the even X series. But here's the biggest thing for me. Even with Steam, with Battlefield, I have to do a damn voodoo chant to get to work. I had to contact EA. Okay, I'm just a side note here. Contact EA to get them to send a pat or a message or a patch or whatever to the game I'm playing. And kind of bought Battlefield 2042 on Steam, and I'm trying to launch the game on EA Play. I had to have EA Play to play the damn thing. Even though I bought it on Steam, it says game starting up and it goes green. It doesn't even run. I had to spend 30 minutes of my life trying to figure this out. Come to find out, I had to delete the cache on my system to start it again. It works fine now so far, but we shouldn't have these issues with a $90 game. Yes, I bought 3 years ago. Yes, I got the money back 3 years later, and EA did a good job. But we shouldn't have the cluster mess that we did. EA, Activision, Treyarch, who you want to call, I don't care. And this goes to all gamers out there, old like me, old as shit like me, and the new one glistening sunlight on their face for the first time, or the first game glistening light on their face first time. Do not accept anything less than 100%. Because once you give into this crap, they're gonna keep pushing DLC and downloadable content, DLC, downloadable content, and patches and patches and patches and patches on us. We'll be playing more of a game patched than we playing the actual game. And I'm very afraid that we're accepting this. And every day, every year, it's, whoa, the game was launched. It's a total cluster F. But we liked Gears of War 6. It was awesome. But the game just exploded. And we have to call my PC to explode. But I'll wait around 6 months for a patch. No! No more. From now on, you tell them no more. No. No. You stop. You vote with this, the wallet. Say, I'm not giving you this money, EA, Activision. I'm not giving you a dime until I see, until I see no Jedi mind tricks work on me, only money. I want to see my value. I understand games are drop a dime and you play it and you move on. Battlefield, Call of Duty, these games are big. Especially Battlefield. That's a long time. No, it had a resurgence. Hell, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, resurgence, pretty good. Call of Duty, not so great. No, $70 DLC. People bought that crap, whatever. It's their choice. They want to take a damn, take a damn freaking piece of razor blade and wipe their butt with it. That's their damn business. But I'm not going to support that kind of crap. And I wish gamers in this thing, yeah, I wish gamers would just not fight me on this in the comment sections and different comment videos I go to watch, and stop fighting me on this and just form together and march in the streets together demanding change instead of just like, oh well, we just accept this and walk around. We did it before with the Xbox One when it came out and said we're going to have a DRM and put our fist up your ass and we're going to be choking your throat and ripping it up your ass. We're like, no, my ass will stay where it's going to stay. Screw yourself, Microsoft. I'm going to buy a Sony PlayStation. Xbox fanboys are running to buy. Now, some of them shade their head with Xbox and send line with Xbox One. But it's still a good console. It was when it came out when they got rid of the DRM and the Kinect. It was a great console. But we stood our ground. We marched in the streets. We have our arms. We hit the battlefield. No pun intended. And we munched in the streets. We marched in the streets. We demanded change. One time that happened, and we made a dent in their profitability. Sony got the message, and they didn't do that PS3 shit ever again, have they? No, they haven't. Granted, the PS3 was a good system, but it was hard to create games for. The cell technology with downloading and installing games now very custom now. 360, pop it in, play it. Xbox One, DRM up the butt. But now they got rid of that. But now they have it again because every game now has to be downloaded and has to be online anyway. See, they snuck something in there, and we all weren't paying attention. I'm guilty of it too. We have to, if we gotta be online service, fine. But if I'm paying you $70, Microsoft, Sony, we, whoever else it is, Luna, I want the best damn experience you can give me. I don't want a happy ending in the end, but what I want is the best damn experience that I can get for my 70, 80, $100 I'm spending. I know price games go up. I get that. I get games cost money. I am not a person that says, well, I'm a socialist. I believe everything should be free. No, I'm not an idiot. I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid, believing that everything is free. Stuff has to cost money. Somebody got paid for it somewhere. Didn't just fart out a game. I get that, but if you're getting 500 million or $1 billion in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and as they Modern Warfare 2 got $1 billion, I bought it too because I ain't buy the last Call of Duty, last few Call of Duties. I bought Cold War, buy the other one, so I bought this one, and it's better now than it was. But I like Cold War a lot better. But I didn't buy Modern Warfare 3 because I knew it was a DLC pack. I knew what it was. And even says it in Steam, it says DLC. So you guys who bought this game for $70, take a bow. I'm not saying none of my subscribers did. And if you did, that's your business. Like I said, your money. Do what you want with it. But don't complain when Black Ops 4 or 5 or whatever hell it is has DLC you pay for that's $70 just to add an extra 3 hours of campaign. Don't complain about that. Roll over and move on. Sometimes in your life you have to cut away stuff that's hurting you. Now I'm not saying gaming is terrible. Gaming is expensive. It's a hobby. It, I mean, having a full-time job is almost not enough to buy games sometimes. But you know what? Steam sales come rolling around, I get some good. But I'm always looking and waiting to see what Last of Us 2 gonna look like, Spider-Man 2 gonna look like. When GTA 5 comes out or 6 comes out, I'm like, is that gonna be day one no issues? Or is there gonna be like some cluster F explosion nuclear bomb going off where it's like, okay, it'd be 6 months until we get a port, a year before we get a port, but would it still be patching it in half a year to a year? Not saying a whole lot. Not saying it was a bad game on PC. It wasn't. But I'm saying though, we have to really look into it. We have to be vigilant. Don't blow your money wad on every game that comes out and it shakes its ass in front of your face. You have to be somewhat big boy and big girl. You know what? I'm not gonna blow my wallet load on all this damn game stuff because I'm hearing a lot of reviews. These games are crap, and I'm not gonna buy that. Sometimes to learn, like I did, you get burned. You get burned enough time, you don't want to do it no more. So, guys, just be careful out there with games, and I appreciate you guys watching my video. Having watching that fat guy ramble. Thank you guys. If you're a new subscriber, welcome, whoever you are. If you're a new subscriber, you can post down below here in a comment. New subscriber. I have over 500 videos you can watch. Me rambling on. You can turn them on and watch them when you're kind of weird or whatever. Like an audio book, or you can listen to them while you're trying to sleep. And me rambling on about weird stuff I ramble on about, or just watching when you're laying in bed. But whatever. I do this for a hobby. I have a full-time job outside the walls of my house, so I don't have Patreon. I don't have a YouTube, commitment thing. So, and if you who do are cool, if you guys have that, it's great. If you do have it, hey, awesome. But I just never got into that. So, once again, guys, like, subscribe, no catering now. Share my video around. You want more videos like this? Comment below what you want me to do. What kind of videos do you want me to make when it comes to educational gaming videos or just plain just general gaming? Comment below. I have no problem reading your guys' comments about gaming related only text and stuff like that. Anything else will be deleted because I'm a very private person. But yeah, I'll talk about games all day long. I'm a gaming channel. I review stuff. I have plenty of reviews down below. Stuff reviewing the controllers, like the Xbox wired one here, the red one. I reviewed that one. I reviewed a USB adapter for Ethernet for USB Wi-Fi adapter. I review a lot of different things. Once again, guys, thank you for watching my video. Thank you, Boxing. Thank you, all you guys, for putting my channel on the map. I appreciate all you guys. I love all you guys. God bless and be safe. Peace out.